next up, before we actually, like I said, get into the whole, essence of what SendVIA is as a service, Matt Jordan here is here as well to introduce himself. So Matt, please enlighten us. Really appreciate you being here.
Well, thanks for having me, and I really appreciate you and what you're doing here. I think this idea of connection and community is so important. So my background, as you can see from the slide, I'm a developer by trade. Um, I got my degree in business, and eventually found out that I really like technical things and developing software, and I thought that was super cool. So I spent the first 12 years of my career before I joined SendVIA developing solutions for a whole host of different industries, but primarily for the first 10 years, it was airlines. And so I worked in the airline industry doing technical development. I was working in marketing, operations, analytics, pricing, revenue management. Basically, any part of the airline, I touched it somehow, and then I transitioned over to Milliman, which is a big consulting firm that focuses on insurance, and that's where I met Mariah. But this idea of community has been something that's always been just a part of my life specifically, because early on in my career, I started or I attempted to start a business that imported products from African countries that we could sell here in the US. And that was I dipped my toe into e-commerce and international trade, which was super cool. And then life got the best of me, and I had to transition out of that. But I found myself still gravitated to community, this idea of connection, this idea of travel and connecting with people across borders, um, and and the fact that community is really at the heart of all of that. And what I love about that aspect of community is that when you have community, you can get through any trials that life brings you. As long as you have the right people around you, you can get through almost anything. And I think I've been impacted by that personally, and I've seen others impacted by that personally as well. And I just want to have that for everyone that I talk to and meet. And so when this idea of SendVIA came around, and when I met Mariah and we talked about it and we were proofing it out, it just felt the right thing to do. And I'm super happy to be here to represent SendVIA and just the social mission that we have that is at the heart of SendVIA. So yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate what you're doing here.
Go right ahead.
So I guess for us, the heart of SendVIA is the global family. So people support their family members back home in the Philippines and elsewhere by sending them money every day, every month, for birthdays, as you can see here, for anniversaries, for celebrations, but also for unexpected emergencies like hospital visits, for disasters like typhoons, like what we're seeing in the Philippines right now. There's a whole host of reasons that people send money back home. I think in the world, I think almost $750 of $1 trillion is sent every year in terms of remittances. It's a lot of money. And with respect to the Philippines, I think it's close to $12 billion, if I remember right. So it's a lot of money. And it's because people want to support their family back home. What we have found, though, is that money only goes so far, and it doesn't help people here in the States connect with their family. People back home don't feel connected with their family here in the States. And so what we have found is we've come up with a solution that kind of flips things on its head a bit, where instead of sending money, or in addition to sending money, you can also buy care products, you can buy insurance, you can buy telemedicine and doctor's visits for your family back home. And so you would come to our website, purchase the products, and we'll take care of the rest. We'll work with the providers to deliver those products to your family. no matter where they live in the Philippines, whether it's Metro Manila or in the provinces. So that's essentially what we do in a nutshell.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So this is this is our opportunity to really dig in and get to understand, what SendVIA is out to do and out to create. Now, I know that you had started down this path, Matt and Mariah, but like, what was the inspiration other than community specifically, to create SendVIA? Because I think, seemingly it seems like you could have created anything or done, gone in any direction. I mean, why, specifically, this arena?
Yeah, as what they say, is there like a frustration in the past that you really, that's the reason why you created or motivated you? Were you frustrated on something else, or were you just like so excited, or was there a problem that you really want to solve based on personal experience?
How can we give senders the ability to give something in a more caring way in some ways? And so, I just I totally agree with Mariah. This hasn't been done before because there's just a lot legally to work through and regulatory wise, and we spent a good amount of money and time on just getting through that. I think Mariah and I started this back in 2020, and it's now that we're really bringing this out to the public because it's we've had to work through a lot, from
Yeah.
that angle, but we
Yeah.
have cracked the nut, if you will.
Right. Insurance is a preventative measure as opposed to sending money, because, you send money, it's a reactive thing. Like, hey, you have a disaster, we'll send money. Hey, you need this, we'll send money. It's kind of like how I feel like when I used to call my mom before before I didn't have to, right? It was like I need this. Okay, you'll send. You know what I mean? You're trying to create something completely new. I mean, would that be fair to say?
Yeah, and I think one of the things we were thinking of early on is like, okay, we send care boxes and products right now. Well, do we want anybody to be able to send any type of product, or do we want to? Where should we focus our efforts? And what we decided on was having curated boxes, because it really evokes that idea of celebration, that idea of closeness and community and just thoughtfulness, instead of, if you can just order groceries through us. I mean, that's the same as sending money. We don't see that as valuable. So we're really focused on that community aspect, that emotional aspect that sending money is for a lot of people.
You started talking about the journey and the challenges that came about from creating, and Antoinette, I don't want to hog the questioning, so to speak, but you started going down that path of the journey that you've been on to get to this point. I mean, all entrepreneurs have that journey. I would like to think. So can you kind of elaborate on those challenges that you had gone through, Matt and Mariah, and then we can kind of
I think absolutely. Like I was mentioning before, there's a lot of different challenges in this space. When you're talking about cross-border trade and business, you're thinking about international law. When you're talking about insurance, you're talking about insurance here in the States, or is it insurance in the Philippines, or who's covering, who's the carrier, who's insured, who oversees and regulates that type of transaction. And here in the States, especially, it's especially complex because the regulatory body for insurance is a very state-specific body. And so, we had to think creatively through that and work through that. So to make sure that we stay within the legal frameworks, if you will. But there's also, on top of that, whenever you're starting a business and you're working with consumers, you're thinking about, how do I reach these consumers? How do I reach my target market? Who is my target market? there's a lot of Filipinos here in the U.S. There's first gen, second gen, third gen, and so on and so forth. Who are the ones that are sending money? Who are the ones that are really supporting their families back home? And so we've been going on this journey for quite a while and figuring out who's our target market, who can we sell to, how do we sell to them. We tried digital ads, and that we had great traffic, but conversion wise it wasn't working, and so we had to think about all of that with an e-commerce store. And so there's a lot of different ups and downs and challenges. I think it's our social mission and idea that really makes us persevere and get through the ups and downs of every day. It's because it's quite unknown, honestly. It's like, especially when we don't have any traction initially, it's like, how am I going to get to tomorrow or the next day or in 6 months when I need more funding? It's just like, how do we get through this? And it's the social mission of our company that really drives us forward. So
I do want to go back into questioning about SendVIA. So what are the future? I know. Can you speak about specifically, just so everyone understands what you're currently doing now, and maybe what your plans are for the future, and where you'd like to take it, take the service? Because I think that's interesting. You were alluding to that before about how you're working to create it to be something different than just a remittance company. So I'd love to hear about what those plans might be.
Yeah, Matt, do you want to start?
Sure, I can start. So in terms of current products, we have care boxes that you can send to people. You can buy telemedicine for people. You can buy insurance for people. But I think as we move forward, we're really about that aspect of caring for your family back home, and what does it mean to care. And so we're thinking about, okay, the number one reason that people send money back home, for health reasons. So we're going to, we're looking at different ways and different solutions onto how people, what products people want. We've heard a lot about care advisors or people in the Philippines to help their elderly parents. And that's something, yep, there we go, Ruben. So that's something that we're looking into. We're also looking into, like, people send money back homes because they want to retire back home. And there's a big push from the consulate here in the U.S. and the embassies here in the U.S. about retiring back home, and how do you build a house back home for yourself, and real estate and investment in your community, and so we're thinking about that. That's very much long term for sure, but we do see that as an evolution of ours. And then I think we are a global company, and we want to expand beyond the U.S. to Philippines, and we have aspirations of doing that, but we want to get it right, and we want to focus on the U.S. to Philippines so we can get the products and get our strategy going right, and so that we can scale beyond that. Please let us know, because we're always looking for people to get involved. So
excellent. And I just have a follow-up question. And I truly believe this is also important, because Maria mentioned about trust. So now if I'm going to call my mom and ask my mom, hey, mom, can you please switch to SendVIA when you send money to your relatives in the Philippines? And the number of questions she's going to tell me, or she's going to ask me, is, well, how secure is it? So what are the security measures that SendVIA do have to ensure that the products, and especially the transaction that these clients or customers do online, are definitely safe, especially that we are gearing towards the advancement in technology? So cybersecurity is definitely an issue.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a number of different parts to that. I'll start with the first one, which is, how secure is your money with us? And I would say it's very secure. We use one of the top platforms, e-commerce platforms in the world, that is used by hundreds, if not thousands, of major retailers. We're talking like Michael Kors, we're talking about Chanel, we're talking about Wegmans, Stop and Shop. If you're from here, I think they all use this e-commerce website called BigCommerce, and they provide top line security, and so your transaction with us is secure. Going beyond that, though, we're talking, when we're thinking about money, especially when you send money, it's not just the provider that you're sending money through, it's also the provider at the other end who's giving the money to your relative. And so that equates to us as the product providers in the Philippines. And what we've done is we've vetted each of the product providers. So the insurance is backed by Pioneer Insurance or Card Pioneer. They're a major insurance company in the Philippines that is super, super well trusted in the Philippines. Consulta MD, which is our telemedicine provider, they are part of the Ayala Group, which is a major corporation in the Philippines, and well regarded. And we also provide the care boxes. Those are shipped through LBC, which is a major well-known shipping provider in the Philippines. So there's security of your money from the front end. There's security of the products on the back end, and we are constantly adjusting to make sure that security is top of mind all the way through.
Well, before we run out of time, I know that we had already started talking about this, but we at Filipinos in Mass, I know that I'm speaking for myself and speaking for Internet and the rest of the team. What is it? I know you already started talking about this and mentioning, but what are the few things that we can do as an organization to help you guys succeed? Because that's really what we're here. We're here to talk to you guys about and help you achieve. So what can we do as a community to help what you guys are doing for the community?
I think Mariah really hit it on the head. Have a conversation with us. Whether you're sending money back home and you're wanting to look for a different way, or if you're not sure about our services, talk to us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. We have calls regularly with potential customers, just talking about our service, talking about their pain points, their journey in life, who they support, how they support them. We're really focused on this idea of community development and personal development and family development. So have a conversation with us. I can't stress that enough to reach out. And if you are in a position to send money and are looking for something different, come to our website and see what we have to offer. Because I think we have some great products so far, and please give us some feedback.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And I would also say for you all, for Filipinos in, we'd love to get the word out. Get the word out about SendVIA, and we'd love to get the word out about the community that we SendVIA can support here in Massachusetts and across the United States. So we want to be connected to you all.
Really exciting, and then we're really excited to do more together and hopefully promote what SendVIA has to offer, because I really believe in what you guys are creating as a service and how it could potentially evolve. So I want to, on behalf of Filipinos in, I just want to thank both of you guys for being on the show. We certainly look forward to having your presence, for future discussions.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.